Truth Frequency Radio.
TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Rail Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to Space Letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh.
And Lucas.
Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes. TGIF. Everybody, happy Friday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Man, I'm really liking that. And Lucas there in that intro.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, it cracks me up.
I saw you were enjoying it immensely, Lucas.
It's like, tap my headphones.
Man, did they get to hear the onion part?
They did not.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I gotta say,
Wonder.
that was pretty good with the Luftwaffe chain of restaurants bombing their biggest competitor, the City of London. Go get them, Luftwaffe.
Yeah, that was a good change. The Fox News stuff was getting really old. But I like the onion. At least they admit that they're satire, you know?
Oh, you'd soon work it out. What was the one with the cow in there? That was cracking me up too. The brown cow.
Yeah, I didn't catch the setup, but there was something about his divine bovinity. I don't know.
So what is going on with that water stiller, Josh?
Oh, so they finally found the descaler at work, which was really just like a 1 pound jar of citric acid that I have here. Although mine is food grade citric acid, I'm not sure theirs is food grade, so I'm a little hesitant to use theirs. Yeah, it was really good. I finally got the damn thing home. Got it loaded up and unloaded in my car, setting up beautifully. There was still some nasty water. Again, I know it's been there at least a year, over a year since I've been eyeballing it, so who knows what kind of critters are being grown in that nasty ass water. But
you might discover something new.
I might. So here's a sharp left turn. I was listening to the wife talk last night. She was talking to our friend TJ, and she said that there was a study done where they went through and cultured people's belly buttons, and they found one guy had.
Oh, that'd be
hideous. Wouldn't that be gross? So one guy had a bacteria growing in his belly button that was like only found on the island of Japan. It's the only place this bacteria grows, but he has never been to Japan.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so who knows what kind of things we're culturing inside that water distiller. So here's the grand irony of it all. Because I would have loved to have been able to found some way to do the whole house, right? But it's just sort of impractical as far as trying to figure out how to get distilled water for the whole house or set up a $6,000-$7,000 whole house reverse osmosis system. Just impractical. So rewind to my son quitting Amazon, take some time off, decided he needed to get another job. So what he's doing is filling out surveys at Home Depot. So you fill out the survey, they call and send a technician out to test your water. And along with it, he'll bring a whole bunch of stuff to include not a water softener, but a water conditioner. So I guess my son, in trying to get these surveys filled out, was a little short one day on his exact quotas that he needed to have. So he ended up just sticking my name down on one of them. So I get the call. I recognize immediately what has happened, that he has used my name on one of his surveys. So I'm fine. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how chlorinated and calcified my water is. So yeah, come on out, do a water test. I mean, I've got my parts per million TDS meter. Don't need that done. I've got my pH meter. Don't need that done. Just come out, test my shit, and that'd be cool. Well, long story short, this motherfucker sold us the water conditioner, because our water's always been really hard here. It was never in question. So I got the water conditioner and under the sink reverse osmosis for the kitchen, so I don't have to worry about buying distilled water at the store anymore. That was
RO water is pretty good.
It is pretty good, as long as you keep the filters clean. RO water is pretty good. So the exact same day I get my water distiller that I've been pining over for the last 18 months, the day I get it home is the day the salesman comes out and sells me this water conditioning system and under the sink reverse osmosis. Oh, did I mention that he sold me a water heater too? Because mine had about literally 24 inches, about 2 feet worth of just calcium and nastiness shit built up. He got maybe a half a gallon drained out of it before the 3/4 inch pipe just clogged up with shit. So he rolls it sort of outside and shakes it, and he gets maybe 2 or 3 cups of just nasty popcorn looking hardness out before it blocks. And he flips it upside down, and this nasty white slime film gunk comes out the top of it. It was just so god-awful clogged. It was absolutely disgusting. You were good for maybe a 15-minute shower if you turn the hot water all the way on, and then you just a little trickle of cold, because straight hot is too much, but you can't have more than a trickle, otherwise it's just not hot enough. And you get 15 minutes, and you use up all the hot water. Now, the hot water heater that I have is supposed to be the next step down from like a tankless water heater. The sides are about 4 inches thick, so it's super insulated, so it heats up. It retains the heat in there, so as the water comes in to fill back up, it's already got that residual heat sitting in there. So,
have you seen how small is it?
It's a 50 gallon.
Have a tank size?
50 gallon tank.
Okay, that's the new one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the tank.
That's a nice size water tank, 50 gallon.
It is a pretty decent size. Yeah, you can get a lot smaller, but I think I had a 50 in there. So yeah, this Looks like the
You got
deck's
hot
going to have to wait.
showers.
We do have hot showers, and we have clean water coming out of the pipes, so there's that. But damn if I didn't just buy myself another car. Yeah, pretty much. 10 grand, I guess. Just over 10 grand for the whole kit and caboodle. Financed, of course. Yay, credit.
Yeah, but how long do you have to change filters?
It depends. The conditioner has sets of filters. The under the sink RO system has filters. I think the RO is once a year.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
It's not bad.
It'll be worth it. It'll be a good investment. Now you got clean water. Your pineal gland isn't going to be super calcified.
Yeah, just that first shower in it of itself with conditioned water was quite the experience when I could take a 30-minute long hot shower the whole effing time. Enjoy it. Shut it off with hot water to spare. Yeah, it was nice. Nice soft skin, conditioned skin. It was nice.
Well, taking a left turn here.
Please do. Get me off.
Did you guys hear what happened in Canada?
I've heard. I've not.
Yeah.
Not confirmed. We have Alan
I
Holman
heard
there in
rumblings, but I haven't really researched it yet. So if you want to fill us in, that would be amazing, sir.
I know Beth Martin did an interview with a gentleman and covered the whole thing the day it happened. Yeah, go check out her channel. The MFM.
Yeah, just a disclaimer: he's not my relative. All right.
Okay. So yeah, the mainstream media will tell you that Canada has done such a good job, all getting pricked, that they're allowed to go back to normal now. That's what they're spinning it as. But guess what really happened, folks? The Canadian government took a gentleman to court over all this stuff. The mandates, the prick, all that kind of stuff. So it set precedent. It wasn't like the people were suing the government, because when you do that, the government can just kick it down the line. You have a right to a speedy trial, but when you're the defendant, you have time to build your case and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You can get extension after extension after extension, and they could kick it down the road 10 years. Well, the government sued this gentleman, so he has a right to a speedy trial. And he proved without a doubt in a court that it's just a flu. That all this stuff going on, they are stopping mandates, they are stopping all that stuff.
Well, he proved that they didn't have evidence that the actual virus was isolated. So when you can't prove that, you can't mandate anything on top of a virus, because you haven't actually proved that the virus is legitimate. So, which we knew from the very beginning of this, that there is no virus. I mean, there's terrain theory and there's germ theory, and for me personally, I've always been on the side of terrain theory, and I haven't ever thought that the virus was a real thing. Especially when you understand toxicity of the body and those sort of things. Well, and this guy basically said, well, I'll do what you say. I will take your fine for, not following your rules if you show me how you can prove the virus. Can you isolate it? Can you show me the evidence that it has been isolated? And they said, emphatically that they have no evidence for that. They gave a reason, but that doesn't matter if they're not going to prove or show evidence for that. The very basis of their whole entire, operation. Then it's it's a complete hoax and a complete fraud, and we knew that from the very beginning. And now they're maybe doing a little bit of backpedaling, because they might have realised that was a quite a big fuck up,
Yeah, whoever took that guy to court is probably in trouble, a lot of trouble. Whoever decided to prosecute him, they're probably not a prosecutor anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know what goes on from here. Whether a lot of other people actually pick this up, get their own fines, and follow that sort of way into it. But that's where you actually got to. If you were going to go the law side of it, for me personally, that's where you would go to the very foundations of their virus, which many people talked about this. Early at the start of this plandemic, scamdemic type thing, so it probably needs to be discussed even more. And it's good that this guy was able to actually bring it into through that system, bring it into consciousness through that system. So I think it's a win, definite win.
Yeah, the Canadian government said that they will treat, the CV-19 as a normal flu. It was a strong strand of the flu, but they're going to start treating it just like that, as just a strong strand of the flu, nothing more.
I would have loved to have seen that prosecutor's face.
No, when they read it.
Or even when he asked for proof of the isolated virus itself. Let's just go to the very foundation of what all this is about. I'm going to call that into question. Just show us this actual virus that's caused all this nonsense. Just show me that. And I just see rustling papers and prosecutors looking around at each other, think, "Oh shit, we didn't bring that. We don't have evidence for that. I didn't realize you were gonna call out the whole charade." Jesus.
Yeah, well done.
That is awesome.
The Canadian government or the Canadian people, they've been really. There's been lots of protests. I know we don't get to see this stuff on, the mainstream news and stuff like that, but those people they've worked hard for this. They really have. They've been out there protesting and having all kinds for months now. I remember Scuba Dracula was doing this stuff probably a year ago, putting out they were having big gatherings and meetups and, just speaking out against this. So, yeah, hats off to all of them.
Campbell, Autodidactic 2 in chat says, Ireland's courts admitted today on record that there is no V.
Wow. It's happening, folks.
Hell yeah. I spent my entire high school career with no V. Sorry. Go ahead.
When we pull together.
I dropped that show in the chat for everybody there on YouTube, the show Beth did with the guy yesterday. So the link is there. I'll try to remember to include it in our show description.
Well, hi there, Walt.
I've been here the whole time.
I know. I just haven't heard the people haven't heard you.
It's difficult with this phone situation for me, but I'm getting there. I got it. And also, I've had 3 cats literally jump and pull the phone off the table so far. So it's been a little juggling act this morning.
You got to be having so much fun over there. Every day has to be like...
Oh, it's always a blast.
Recess.
It's always a blast. And it is recess, without a doubt. I'm about to start that Flat Cat channel. It's about copyright Ironworx Media 21. Yeah, it's about to happen because you can't even believe some of the stuff they get into. It's incredible. But anyway, I wasn't trying to change the subject. Sorry. I'm just excited. And like I said, I did drop the show link there for Beth's channel. Someone we haven't talked to in way too long. I'm just now remembering, I think it was actually when I was in Oregon when we last had her on the show.
I was just thinking this the other day that we needed to have both she and her hubby on.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, who is the guest we're having tonight?
Aha. Our guest tonight is a listener / watcher, subscriber, You may have seen her in chat. Her channel is Heartline Realm. Her name is Lisa. I shot her the link yesterday via email so as I wouldn't forget. And I don't believe I've heard back yet, but fingers crossed. So I once we got the date and time and all that stuff figured out, she confirmed that, but no confirmation of having received tonight's show link to join. So, but yeah, she's got a really good story. I don't want to give too much of it out, but it's going to be a really, really good conversation. I think it's going to be it's going to go lots of different places, from what I can tell. But who we need
now,
to get
has
on
she ever
soon.
been live before, or?
That's a really good question. I don't have any idea. No idea.
I know we've had quite a few first-timers or people that decide to announce that, hey, I think that the Earth might be flat. We've had quite a few of those. I know Crow came out, Mark Devlin came out, I believe Rose 777, who I saw in chat. Hello, love.
Yes, hello, Rose.
The woman that never sleeps. She's always working.
She's calling poppycock on that dude, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait it out. We never know at the start of these things, do we? But
we never do.
Yeah, I would have too, but the way the mainstream media is spinning it, they didn't even mention a court case or anything like that in their articles and stuff. They're just mentioning, oh, they're doing so good and everybody's listening to their government that we're going to let all of them go back to normal sooner because they're doing so good.
Because they're being good little kids, right?
Well, you know, we're on lockdown again.
What? Stop.
They just gave us, they just, extended the other one, and then that sort of ended, and then they're like, oh, we're having a quick lockdown for the weekend. It's just like, are you kidding me? So, I think most of it,
it's like
most
a holiday.
of Victoria will be fucking ropeable at this stage. Yeah.
It's government-sanctioned holidays for the whole country. You know what? Just for the weekend, go ahead, lock yourselves down. You're welcome.
Yeah. You know, that netball game or, sports game you're going to enjoy, just, cancel it and sit at home.
Sit at home. Stay inside.
Yeah.
Social distance.
You can go out to a restaurant.
Wear 2 masks.
Although, you're not allowed friends over. So, if you want to see your friends, you go out to the restaurant with all the rest of the other people out there, and you can sit around and have your dinner and things like that, but you can't have them at your house. Makes sense.
It's a mad
crazy.
That is insane.
It doesn't even make sense. You guys are going to have a revolt going on sometime soon.
I reckon they got to learn how to do it again, or what?
It seems like that's what they're
I'm
trying to
walking
do.
around the street. I'm like, today I was walking down the street. It's like everyone's wearing a mask. I went into the supermarket. I've been in there. I nearly go in there every day. I just walk around with no mask on. I'm just like, fuck you guys. I'm doing what I want. That's why I see a cop, I tell him, give me a fucking ticket.
I swear they're antagonizing citizens, and the citizens still are. The shit, we fluoridated them out of existence, and now we can't get them to revolt and rise up and rebel and create this civil war division like we wanted. They're just sitting there. Do something. Fight. Go to lockdown again. What are you going to do this time? All right, we'll extend the lockdown. What are you going to do now? Nothing? All right, how about another lockdown? Now what? Still nothing. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll just stay perpetual lockdown until you bastards decide you've had enough.
We'll do it for 3 days on your weekend. Perfect. How about that? Then you have to go back to work.
Just in time for Monday to roll around and y'all Put on your suit and tie and keep the wheels a turning. Well, that's going to bring us real close to the break. We've only got about less than 2 minutes before that break comes. Flown through another segment. It is.
Let's go quick.
Makes me want to put on lipstick and dance around in negligees because it's a time warp.
It's just a hop to the left. Then you step to the right. Put your hands on your hips.
Finish that sentence because it was getting strange for a second there.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I wonder if there's any FE references in there. Oh my gosh, yeah, we'll talk about this real quick. Did you guys see the Mark Dice video?
I've not seen the Mark Dice video.
He went around petitioning people, I think it was California, to put anti-maskers and anti-V'ers in prison. And people were signing it.
Sure they were.
There were quite a few that were like, fuck off. Get out of my face. You're insane. I'm not signing that. But there were quite a few that were like, yeah, I agree. Yep, let's do it. Oh, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, I got a little exposure to that, unfortunately, early on in this thing. Oh, wait, we're about to hit break, aren't we?
Yeah, we're
There's no need to get off into that rant. Rant stopped. Unengaged ranter.
It just shows how the Nazis did it. It's happening in the United States right now.
Waffle chefs, not Nazis. Thank you. Let's get the phraseology correctly, sir.
Waffle chefs.
I mean, these people are fascists.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about, 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena. Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare.
TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
He likes the way I talk, and I like the way he talks.
And welcome back. Second half of the first half of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh, Walt, Zach.
And Lucas.
Hanging out with you this morning.
Yep.
We got a lot of great people in chat. I'm not going to start rolling them off, but Callum said something that it gave me chills just thinking about it. You know, the old saying, resistance is futile. Well, he'd kind of change it up a little bit. He put resistance is fertile.
I saw that as well. We have a show title, ladies and gentlemen. We have a show title.
That's a t-shirt right there. Somebody needs to head over there and hop on Teespring. Resistance is fertile.
Copyright Callum Wilkinson. Yeah, that was great. That gave me chills just thinking about it. It's like, yeah. Rage Against the Machine started playing in my head. Started singing Rage Against the Machine last night out of nowhere. I was on the range with Walt. I don't know what brought it up. We both started just humming and singing a Rage Against the Machine song.
Yeah. Resistance is fertile. Rage Against the tractor.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, big shout out to everybody out there. Thank you all so much for joining us. We probably wouldn't be doing it at this time. So, yeah, you're the reason we're here right now.
I like that video you shared, Zach.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Michael Tellinger. He always sort of updates himself. He never gets stuck in the same sort of, he follows along and tries to learn new things and updates himself. I don't mind some of his stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool. I really liked the one where they were talking about paramagnetism and
diamagnetism.
Others. Yeah.
Yeah, remember, Di will do anything to get away from the electromagnetic. I could never remember the difference between paramagnetic and diamagnetic, and that guy in that video gave it to me. Diamagnetic will die before it enters an electromagnetic field. It wants to get away from it, so diamagnetic repels just a little bit. It's not like the reverse of a magnet trying to put two magnets together, at the same poles, but it'll push stuff away from it. A magnet will push it away. Where paramagnetic is where it will attract it, not like a magnet does to a piece of metal, but it'll attract it a little bit. Where ferromagnetic is like your iron, where it itself will become a magnet when it's introduced into a magnetic field.
Really strong, strong polarization. I remember reading about this, so I was just looking it up before so I could actually remember the book, but it was called Paramagnetism, and it was mainly about soils and how they are paramagnetic, and then it gets into sort of like how rocks decompose to create the minerals for the soil. It was quite a good book, but it's been a very long time since I've read it. It's called by the guy called Philip S. Callahan. So paramagnetic agriculture. There were some interesting things in that, how talking about frequencies and all these sort of things and how it sort of integrates. I got it lent to me. I got 2 books lent to me about agriculture because I was starting my farm, and this guy used to do go around to different people's farms and work out the organic way of building their soils, and he knew how to do it without the need for chemical sort of the modern chemicals that they give these farmers. And so he handed me these 2 books and said I probably should have a look at them. And the other one was Love and Life on the Farm or something like that. But in that one, it had a very interesting sort of little segment in it where they were telling us, or telling you basically how to grow a plant in the dark. And I never tested it or anything like that, but basically they had these plates out on the roof and then hooked it up via these wires and things like that to the pot that it was in, and were actually growing the plants in the dark, which was really interesting.
Wow.
You could actually burn the plants too much, like they had too much sunburn, if there was too much discrepancy or the plates were too high, sort of like that. It sort of ties back into the electro farming sort of stuff that I've talked about as well. So sort of very interesting. So that's, I don't know, how does that work for, photosynthesis, is if they're able to do it in a different way. I don't know.
It's synthesis.
So they're kind of gathering the energy from the top, still from the sun, but they're able to transfer that energy down to the plants. And the plants can absorb it without even seeing the photons, right, of the sun. See,
I should really try and find that again, because that was really interesting. It's sort of been on my mind a few times lately, and I was like, I should pull that book up again, see if I can remember the title of it.
Yeah, that should have revolutionized the growing industry right there, something like that. This is the kind of stuff that they hide from us. I mean, it's 2021. How old is this book, Lucas, you think? Was this years ago when you saw this?
Yeah, it was years ago, and it was nearly out of print before. When I got hold of it, he said, this is the only copy that he had, and it was basically out of print. You couldn't find it anywhere else. So I'll have to remember what the title of it was.
Like that. You know how much room you could save? You could have an underground garden. And then, oh my goodness.
Well, that's like that electroculture, how he was able to, stimulate the plant growth with the wires over the top. I think it's the same sort of thing. He was, they all tie in together, all these sort of, it's like one understanding, and we just, for me personally, I haven't got to the sort of the crux of it. And, that's where our science really lets us down in a lot of ways. Especially elementally, I think that's one of the biggest hurdles. So,
well, yeah, like I was saying, this stuff that should be taught in schools. Hey, kids, we can grow plants under the ground now, without light at all. I mean, that's enormous. That should revolutionize plant biology right there. But like you said, it was stuck in a book on a shelf where there's only barely any printed. And I mean, how does not everybody have heard about this yet? That's
the rest of the book was really about how to do a soil analysis, and showing where they made the errors in what they're actually putting on the soils, and this sort of ties into biological transmutations, where they say some bacterias or things like that can actually change one element to another. And so this is your biological transmutation of elements, And the other thing was basically, say a chicken, right? only a chicken egg only has so much calcium. So it's got calcium on the outside, but within the chicken egg itself, there's hardly any calcium. And so this guy was going, well, how does the chicken grow its bones if there isn't calcium within the egg and it's not taking it from the shell? There's more sort of calcium in the bones at the end than there was internally in the egg. So what he was saying was that it was actually silica, and silica can actually transmutate into calcium. So these are the type of things that have been sort of not talked about and not discussed in any great level, probably in universities and schools, in agriculture and all these type of things. Is like, well, how does it actually work, and is there a transmutation? And transmutation is really important, even when you look at stuff like the Geet engine, which was dealing with plasmas and things. And he was saying at the end of the process, there was lighter elements coming out of it than were in there in the beginning. So transmutation's, I think, a very important sort of concept that needs to be studied in much greater detail. Anyway, rant over.
Oh, it's got my brain just flipping and flopping now, Lord.
Yeah, these are all those things that, it's like a catch-22. Now we have the internet, we have ways to share all these ideas and all this stuff that we find. But on the other hand, it's our way of communicating, and they can censor it. Now they're saying that they're even censoring your text messages. So sharing this type of information, although it's not as slow as sending a letter or this and that, but it's not confidential, and you don't even know if the messages are actually reaching the destination after you send it. So it's great that we have these capabilities, but on the other hand, it's still in the bad guy's control. All this stuff should have been talked about and heard about by children at very young ages in school. This is what they should be learning in school, in science class. And yeah, it's a catch-22. It's a great thing that we have the internet and everything, and at the same time, it's it's the people that are in control of it and controlling the information and the sharing of information that we need to change.
Yeah, they give us a structure to work within, and that structure just doesn't allow for these other ideas, that the ones that I'm talking about, that you get hints of them here and there, but honestly, a lot of their structure is put in place just to stop certain ideas from ever eventuating. It's just like NASA is put in place to stop thinking about other cosmologies. It's a great block. And these blocks exist all over the institutions. It doesn't matter what facet, because at the top, they seem to know a lot more about where the science can actually take people. So direction, Callum. Yeah, correct.
I wonder, have you ever seen that movie Future Land or Future World, or I forget what it was called? But it was all the greatest scientists on Earth had gotten together and decided that they were going to build a civilization without government.
That Disney crap, what was it?
Yeah.
Tomorrowland.
Man, it was right there. Yep, that's it.
The one that
I'm wondering if there is
took off from the Eiffel
Tomorrowland
Tower. I bet you, because I think there probably is some pretty shady stuff that was going on there at the top, the Eiffel Tower, and it wouldn't at all surprise me. There's got to be some white hat, gray hat secret society types somewhere that are trying to, I don't know, not even that that's what that was, but I suspect that there's something there to it.
Yeah, I could see, a large group, kind of like the Iron Republic. Same story. They were tired of tyranny. They went and found a new land and started using all of this technology that, the governments were suppressing. In that Iron Republic story, a guy talks, and this was what, from the 30s, 1930s, 1920s? The guy said he went out there and the people had flat screen TVs and electric cars and all that kind of stuff. And they said they had left this world back in the 1600s because they were sick of all the tyranny. So that's kind of the same story. So I don't know. You hope that they're out there, But yeah, it's a big world out there, folks. Don't let them, let you think that it's all been discovered, Truman. Nothing left to discover.
Yep.
I bet there's a bug, even in someone's backyard that's listening right now, that hasn't been discovered yet. We're finding spiders and butterflies and snakes. We're finding whales still, folks. Just a couple years ago, we found a new type of whale, bigger than a bus. Never seen before, supposedly, by humans.
There's probably somebody somewhere right now with a completely undiscovered strain of bacteria growing in their belly button. Just saying.
That's gross.
Don't give them any ideas, Josh. There we go. We're all going back under quarantine for our belly button lint.
Just remember, wash your belly button.
I just dropped your undiscovered bug picture there in our TFR chat, which is right now the only place I can easily drop photos. Anyone that would like to identify it, please do so. I hate this cord I have to hold in front of my mouth to talk to you guys. It's aggravating me. I apologize for all this. We'll get it straight this next week.
It's Josh's fault because Josh has a microphone and an interface waiting right here for you.
No fault.
So, Shibby's had a few more lumps that had appeared over the last little bit, and Dixie had to take him to the vet. And
good.
They were cancerous. They've just not metastasized as of yet. So.
I'm sorry.
We've got him for a little bit longer. It's not in his chest or anything. He had a chest scan, all that good stuff. So, yeah, this week's been wonky.
Lots of love sending out to you guys for sure, man.
Just seems like it's one thing after another.
Here lately, it really does. I didn't want to get into all that here on the show, but yeah, definitely in life, it definitely seems like just the hits keep coming. They definitely do of late. It's like they've amped up the madness or something.
There's a song I have on one of my playlists that comes to mind. And I really don't want to play it just because I don't want the copyright strike.
There on TFR, I put a picture up. I took this from a video that I captured on my literal first little styrofoam crap drone there. Probably not even 480. Yeah, probably 480 quality. So this thing flew by the lens. It just flew by my drone. It zoomed and flew by my drone in a 2-3 frame second. 2 frames you could see it, and 1 frame you could catch the edge of it. So within 3 frames, if anyone knows the math on frames of film, I used to. That's how fast it was when it flew by, looking like that picture, which I guess I'll include again there in the show's description so you all can see it. But yeah, a bug. That's got to be what that is, right? We wouldn't have drone technology that advanced these days, would we? Come
on.
Just for everyone, I dropped that link for the biological transmutations, so you can click that if you like, and there will be a PDF for the whole book.
Have you ever seen The Room where they train
everybody? Well, I have not. Sorry, I was going to tell everybody to vote in chat. Should I drop the biological transmutations link or the show link. What was the show link? Oh, Beth Martin's link. You guys vote, and that's the link I'll include in our show link. Sorry, we only have one.
Yeah,
do the
drone,
Beth one.
They have like a padded room where people can take their mini drone.
I've been there. Oh wait, what? Wait.
Different padded room. What?
But yeah, some of them are the size of like your fingernail. The drone could land on your fingernail. They're so small. And that was a decade ago. So yeah, I'm sure they have mosquito-sized drones now.
Well, Autodidactic 2, Cam, there in chat, makes a joke about aren't birds drones, LOL. Saw a video. Hey, nobody can fake a video, right? I saw a video of a guy. It looked like he was a farmer, maybe out in the field, and he had caught what looked like a locust. Till you really got to look at it, and there was mechanical shit going on. It was not a fucking bug, and it was just loose in his field. Now, whether that was real or not, I can't verify, but I saw it, and I saw that thing fly by that I caught. I videoed. Nobody else videoed that. So
straight out of the Golden Compass.
I'm not going to mention movies. Not going to mention companies.
Remember that Golden Compass has got
Black
like
Ops,
a bug in it, and it's got like a dark spirit held to the mechanism. Anyway,
isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that was the movie where everybody had their little demon and walked around and took advice from their personal demon.
No, trying to cut the demon off. That's the goal of the movie, was these bad guys trying to cut themselves off from their spiritual essence. Interesting correlations, maybe.
Did you see the TV show that continued on where they figured out how to do it? They were just doing it to the young kids, and they were harnessing the power from the young kids as they separated them from their demon. It was pretty crazy.
You recommended that to me numerous times, Josh, and I put it in the list of stuff to watch, and yet, for some reason, something's keeping me from watching it, because I have not. I just went again like, oh shit, I never watched that.
Yeah.
The show.
They're not trialing, or doing a pilot where they come around to schools to see if, people want to get the vax at all in Australia.
You better clarify.
Yeah, I thought I better care. Oh, what's the point? I mean, I've already
lots of people want to get the V.
Ranted this morning.
But the vax.
Any teenage boys out there want to get in line for the V?
I need to stop. My goodness, how quickly the juvenilia just jumps up. I'm trying to dig out that video. I know I have it. Oh, that's right. It's not going to be on this phone. I just got a new phone. Oh, I know where it's at. It's coming. Give me a second. I want you guys to see the bug. I may have sent it to a... Sorry, I got sidetracked with Zombie Snoop saying, Walt and Zach, I found what I thought was a drone mosquito in like 2013 and kept it in a jar for years till I lost it and then moved. It looked like the gold bee from that Richie Rich movie, but made out of platinum, apparently. Holy shit. I've seen pictures. Little bit of mosquito drones. Now, were they real? NASA sends us real pictures. Man, I can't find
Imagine trying to fly a mosquito, though.
At this point, wouldn't it
just
be
like a little
control?
breath of wind, and you're just like, oh, damn it.
That's why they have
it's
that
like a hive drone control thing, just like the real ones. They wouldn't have a guy sitting there trying to...
And he has like a mini controller trying to do it as well. Everything
those
just
nights when
shrunk
that one
down.
mosquito just keeps going around your ear and you're like, fuck, what's it? That's him. No, yeah, I don't think it's got to be like AI hive control.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just a theory. Just a theory. Man, where is that video? I'll find it. We have 2 minutes left, so instead of me fumbling live for 2 minutes, I'll look for it off the air. Apparent commercials that are coming in 2 minutes, 17 seconds, counting.
So we had an interesting question by Rose in chat earlier. Do you think they're ever going to pull the alien invasion card?
You know, I
Thank
heard.
you for getting back to that.
There was a guy I was listening to on the way into work or the way home. I think it was the way into work, talking about the fact that the government has this technology where they can put hologram into the sky. And I'm listening to this on the mainstream media on my radio station. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the local. I think it was a syndicated show that I was listening to, and they were talking about basically Project Bluebeam and how all of a sudden all these crazy UFO sightings, how most of them are just like silhouettes. You don't catch one landing, you don't catch one taking off. There's just these strange, ambiguous silhouettes,
pyramids, or
in the sky. Yeah, and the government has the tech to do it, whether it's our government or China or Russia or whoever scary bad guy it could be. But there is the technology to make this happen. So I don't know. Between all of us that already realized how easily they could fake it. And then apparently there's still people waking up to Project Bluebeam and the tech that's out there that they're able to manipulate what we are seeing. So I don't know.
Haven't we been told, hasn't the government released the official files of like, yeah, here we go. This is what we've been looking into for the last whatever. And there's Navy footage and there's just, I quit looking years ago. So I haven't jumped in like, oh, it's finally here. Like I would have had other things not awakened me fully. Hey, the time is upon us.
It is.
So I'll shut up and we'll talk about them aliens after we get back. If we get back. If we don't all experience some kind of time dilation, strange missing time thing, and realize it's 4 hours later. Shout out to all you alien people who know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, I'll shut up. We're about to go to break.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo,
X Squared with Brooks Agnew,
Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas,
Sharonism Raw with Sharon and Nissa,
Fearless with Frank Castle,
Strange World with Mark Sargent,
The Eye of Ra with Rob Castaldo,
The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray,
Ironworx with Josh Corey,
The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more.
Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117?
Or call into your favorite show, toll free at 833-TFR Live.
Uncensored talk and news you won't hear on the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
It's the Onion Radio News. A man in an international airport only speaks business. This is Doyle Redland reporting. New York technological consultant John Brinker was trapped in the O'Hare International Airport for 2 hours today as he struggled to communicate with fellow travelers, none of whom spoke business. The nearly helpless Brinker tried his best to break the language barrier with a confused English speaker from Boise, Idaho.
Should Minex reach efficient levels, their high-volume production of microanalyzers will offset tariff and transportation costs and place Sysmets in a competitive position against local producers and distributors.
Yeah, like you say. Brinker was later seen staring and blinking uncomprehendingly at a bus stop sign while awaiting his company limousine. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com. A Milwaukee, Wisconsin camera crew from WITI spent 30 minutes inconspicuously following an overweight woman at the Henry W. Meyer Festival Park today in an attempt to capture footage for an upcoming segment on obesity. Cameraman Doug Kovalik had this to say as he nonchalantly videotaped the overweight woman tugging at a pair of shorts bunched into her crotch as she consumed a corn dog.
It's hard to get anyone to agree to be filmed to illustrate what a fat person looks like. We avoid the whole mess by shooting them from behind or from the neck down.
Kovalik last used this discreet filming technique over the weekend when he captured a passable shot of male pattern baldness at a local book fair. 8-year-old junior building inspector Thomas Spangler issued an order today for the closure of a treehouse owned by Jimmy Herman until improvements are made to its overall structure.
The rope ladder leading up to the house needs to be brought into compliance with local building codes.
Spangler also threatened to close the treehouse permanently should Herman fail to bring its tire swing up to code. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Exactly. Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand. Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard. To think really hard. To think really hard. To think really hard.
I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh.
And Lucas.
Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Welcome back for the second half of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, simulcast across the plane via Restream. We are 1%ers there on Restream. I'll have you know, as of last month, we had it's like 4 hours and 47 minutes, I think might be what's sticking in my brain right now, but that was longer than 99% of the other 4 million Restream users. I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. We rock it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I think we had 9 streams, or I forget exactly how many streams, but as far as the number of actual streams, we were in the top 10%. More than 90% of the other 4 million users.
Cool. It's good to know we're, getting up there and something.
Something.
So did you hear what, I forget who it was, somebody tried to present a bill. I think it was in the Senate.
Wait. I'm sorry, Zach. I hate to disrupt you.
Yeah, no worries.
We wanted to get the alien subject out of the way real quick. I had been looking into this during the break, and from what I'm seeing, on June 25th of this year, the Department of Defense released an official report on unidentified flying objects. Report doesn't tell us much except the objects remain identified, except somewhere in there they break it down in some sort of way that kind of implies that they could be from somewhere outside of our world. So, if anything, sounds like they're trying to feed into the bullshit and push it and really make it the next card they may pull. Now, we know they keep many cards going in their deck all at once. They always have one ready to play. There's always that trump card up their sleeve. They've got one in the little shooter that comes out there, like the gambler. So, yeah, but definitely they've released official reports on the fact that they say some shit could be from outside our world. All right, that's all. Moving on.
I don't know. I just think, if you're going to do a alien invasion, you're going to have to come up with something pretty good,
Yeah,
Like let people shake their hands or something,
And the research for most of their life can tell you they've got some really good shit going on out there. So I don't know who's doing all that really good shit, but somebody's got some really good shit going on.
Righto. No, I just don't think they're going to bother with it, to tell you the truth.
Wow,
They could prove it wrong, though.
Everybody's currently on their fucking knee. Oops, sorry, I'm being ugly again. I'll stop.
Yeah, they don't need to worry about aliens. Look at us. Anyway, go ahead, Zach.
Did you guys hear about what the science deniers? Come on, Hank Pink. What the science deniers are doing to Washington and what they're trying to say? That this is dangerous. This free speech and people speaking up against all these great scientists like Dr. Fauci. He's the main part of this. But we're gonna make it illegal to speak negatively about science. It's like, really? But yeah, they want to. Yeah, if you go and say bad things about these scientists, they're trying to pass a law, kind of like over in Europe where they say you can't talk negatively about the Holocaust. And the way that
exactly.
Prank call. No, I'm kidding. Go.
Yeah, they want to do that with science. They're just saying
There's
science.
9 guys in a rollerblading accident. That's what it was.
Yeah.
9 gay guys, sorry.
I'm going to waffles. That's all I know. I welcome our waffle masters and their syrupy goodness.
Yeah, even the people on the news, I think it was Fox News that was covering that, were like, yeah, this is about as fascist as you can get. We're going to tell you what you can and cannot talk about and your opinion on it. And this is how it has to be, and it's dangerous. These scientists are scared to speak the truth. It's like, well, no, you're not speaking the truth. If you had the truth, you'd have proof and evidence, and then none of this would be taking place.
Proof? Evidence? You mean like a
hearsay.
white paper on the isolation of the virus? That sort of proof or evidence?
Mm-hmm.
You mean they don't have that?
What?
So they're not working under the parameters of actual science?
Exactly. You can't. That's like saying these basketball players are upset because you're talking about the football players. They're not practicing science, people. It's not science that we're attacking. It's liars. People who don't have science on their side.
It's literally the bully telling. It's literally the bully lying about something and then threatening the guy pointing, pointing it
if you
out.
tell on me, I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Same difference. Yeah, they're trying to say that, these people are now considered science. I'm sorry, science is a verb. Use science. Science isn't a group of guys in white lab coats there to tell you how things are. They can do science, and then I should be able to do that exact same science and get the same results. That's how science works.
Don't you talk bad about thalidomide. Thalidomide is awesome. We've got the science that proves how great thalidomide is for women's morning sickness. I mean, this anti-nausea medicine is a miracle drug. We've got the science to back it up. Trust the science. Don't talk bad about the science. Trust your thalidomide.
Yeah, how much has science gotten wrong? You know,
I
what's the
still
number
spray
one?
my kids down every morning with DDT powder, so I know it works for me.
The number one killer in this country is practicing medicine. It kills more people than car crashes. Doctors just practicing, not even making mistakes. We're just talking about practicing medicine. Diagnosing
Where's
you.
that dude that gets it right? I know there's a lot of guys open their practice and they practice medicine a lot, but who's the motherfucker that finally gets it right? That's who I want to go to.
Who does the medicine? The way that people do science. Who actually does medicine? When do you stop practicing? Like, all right, I'm good. I'm a professional now. I'm ready to go medicine. I'm done practicing. I'm ready to be a professional mediciner now. I'm done practicing medicine.
Yeah, that's when they get out of the business. That's when they become the doctors that blow the whistles and write books on why it was so fucked up in there, you know. The guys that are actually, you know, finished practicing. Either that or they've got 2 shots in the back of their head because they just were saying things that weren't quite convenient.
Well, no, they drown. It's usually they drown in 2 inches of water and they find themselves somehow attached to a doorknob. I'll stop.
Yeah. Royal Raymond Rife, or, you know, Rife comes to mind. They didn't kill him. They just drag his name through the mud and ran him through the court system for a decade and made him go broke, turn into an alcoholic. Yeah, they got lots of ways. The thing is, if you don't try to sell it, that's where they run into problems. That's when they have to shut you up. You know, when you try to sell it, they can stop your patent or this or that, or they can do all kinds of stuff. But like the guy who invented the Geet engine, he was just going around giving it away for free.
Well, they put him in prison. They
so that's what
shut down.
So
he opened his business as well, and all of a sudden he would come and find out that he wasn't allowed to. The doors would be shut, and he wasn't allowed to work there. Or he couldn't buy these certain parts, or they'd double the price overnight. Or they did the same thing to George Wiseman. He was basically, you know, tuning up people's carburetors, and all of a sudden everyone that he sent out these kits to didn't receive their packages, and so they all done complaints. And just before, you know, he could actually get some money back from these, these kits that he sent out not being delivered, well, they all of a sudden on that just before got to their arrival spot, and he lost all all that money, and basically, you know, lost all the credit and rest of it. So they shut him down. Just do little tricks like that, you know. So that's how they play. They play dirty. They don't want your car, you know, running it on, you know, 400 kilometers or miles to the gallon. I mean, that's far too cheap. You might actually work out you could get a generator to run almost constantly and have free electricity. So,
yeah, even with the fossil fuels, these ancient, you know, ways of doing things now, it could still be so much more efficient. We waste so much energy with the designs that we're using. And it's just little things like that. Tweaking the carburetor, the air intake, just little tiny things. You don't have to go and redesign the wheel, but it's just little things you can add to it that make it so much more efficient that they will not allow.
You know, when we're speaking about... Yeah, you go.
Yeah, there was a young guy in Indiana. He was only like 18, 19. And he was from Stark County. And he designed an air filter. He had out an old Cutlass Supreme, the V8s. And he was getting like 80-something miles to a gallon. And he didn't try to patent it. He sold it to one of the car companies, made like $2 million. And my buddy said he never heard from the kid again. The kid moved away, and he's never heard from him again. He was a real quiet kid, kept to himself, didn't hang out with a lot of people at school, was always just tinkering in his garage. So my buddy really didn't know him all that well. But he said, like 18, 19 years old. He made $2 million off his little, and all he did was mess with the air filter. Didn't touch the carburetor, didn't touch anything like that. Just changed the way the air filter worked.
Bought him out.
Yeah, 10 times the amount. So that's another way of doing it. They'll just buy you out. Even though you could make billions of dollars off of your discovery or idea, I think they would rather just pay you off and have it done with right there instead of, going through the process of dragging you through the mud and trying to destroy your life. If they can buy you off, it's not like it cost them anything. Fire up the press. We need $2 million more.
Yeah, that's right. They print it. No, without the risk of becoming too negative in this show, let's I'll try and I want to bring up one more thing that was like, it sort of took me back. I'm like, this is crazy. Another thing to add to the list of craziness in our world. But see if you can guess what would be the best asset on the US government's books. You want to guess? One of the most valuable assets they've got.
China?
No. It's student loans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty sad, isn't it? When you actually think about their yeah. So they're making the most money off people's education and basically putting that whole group into debt as much as they possibly can. It's the very people, the very foundation of your thinkers, in a sense.
Yeah.
I'll let nevertheless lying to them at the same time, but
exactly, that's what makes it really sick. It would be bad enough if it was actually an education system that was giving them something that would help them actually function in life, rather than a mind control farm that just turns them into gear lever pushers. And yeah, it's pretty sick. And most people usually who go through it usually find that they've done most of their own education way outside the parameters of the curriculum. So, I mean, it's definitely not just a joke. It's really sad.
Well, yeah, and that's a big if they can find a job in the field that they went to school for and studied, which, most of them can't, depending on the field. My sister, I think she finally paid off her student loan. It took like 20-something years to pay it off. 20-something years having that hanging over your head, just this, every month I got to pay this. For 20-something years. For an education that she said was worthless. When she got to her job, that's when she learned how to do this stuff. And 90% of the stuff they taught her in school had nothing to do with the job. So yeah, the people who learn the most are the people that get the on-hand training. That, that's the best way to learn. You can read a book on how to, change a tire, 100 different books on it. There could be all different kinds of ways of doing it, but you're never going to know until you actually try it and do it. And yeah, she said it was, it wasn't a total waste because it did allow her to get that job. She needed that piece of paper to get her job. But she said in the long run, there's no way that it was worth it. She probably would have made more money doing, a job right out of high school in the long run. Because oh man, yeah, now they're saying that they can throw people in prison for not paying their student loans. I don't know. You think the government, that would be one of the things that they would kind of pay for. If you have the grades, you just get to go to school. You get to go to a college.
They want to. They want to do away with all that debt. They say, we'll just write it off, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, they'd love to be able to just say, hey, the government's going to cover all that debt for you. It doesn't completely ignores the people that paid their debt, of course. They get no sort of reimbursement or tax credit. And I don't think they've actually addressed yet the people who are going to be taking out more student debt. But if you owe now, they really want to have that stuff paid off. They really want to be able to take that tax dollar and spread it around.
Kill them.
Well, they're trying to help the economy, Josh. Come on, man.
You read that one too?
Yeah, did 3 years and realized he could have forged that piece of paper in a day.
Shoulda. That's it, guys. We're not saying forge that piece of paper, but, if you have to.
It's a lot cheaper.
Just wing it,
You know how many people throughout history have done that? Just said, hey, I'm going to be a doctor now. I'm gonna go practice dentistry. Yeah, let me write this piece of paper out. Yep, this piece of paper says I'm a dentist. I'm a dentist. Back in the day, you could get away with stuff like that. Well, again, these are stories, though,
I don't know. I think that figure out the dentist one. He was like, never go back to this guy. He's using pliers out of his shed or something.
Have you ever? What was it? There's a story, a Chris Farley movie. Lewis and Clark. They were trying to race Lewis and Clark to the Pacific Ocean to cross the United States. Almost Heroes, it was called. Hilarious Chris Farley movie. But they go see the doctor, right? And he's putting the same cream on everything. This guy has something wrong in his armpit or, this. He just takes his hand, dips it in this cream, sticks it under his arm. This other guy, or no, it wasn't that. I forget what movie it was. One guy doesn't have a head. And he goes and puts some cream on it where his neck was and sticks his head back on there. And then with the same hand, goes and sticks his finger in someone's mouth who just had dental. It's crazy to think of how unsterile things were back in the day compared to how they are now. And people still lived, You almost think that the sterilization causes more problems.
Well, that's how they claim they superbugs
yeah.
happen, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
It's like everything's super clean and yeah.
I mean, if you have your body cut open, that's one thing, but our immune systems are amazing. I don't think we should ever stick anything into our body as a medicine. You take it through your mouth. Yeah. It goes through your body, through all the systems it's supposed to, and then goes into your bloodstream. So your body has a chance to pull out everything that isn't supposed to be there. That's why the whole idea of getting a prick is just counterintuitive to me. You're not doing anything with your immune system. You're not letting your immune system fight it. You're sending it directly. Yeah, it bypasses all that stuff. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how they got away with it or how the intelligent doctors buy it. It's kind of like the globe. Say it, a big lie, repeat it over and over, and people will believe it.
Except us. We worked it out.
We have one that can see. Yeah, the good news is, though, there's a lot more people out there whose eyes are open now. The internet has really...
come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah. Whenever I hear that, I think of Karen B. On her Skype, it says, I'm all out of bubblegum. That's like her little saying or logo or whatever. Mentioning Karen B, if you would like to come hang out with a bunch of open-minded, like-minded people, October 23rd and 24th in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They will be hosting Flattoberfest, the second one. You can find tickets at flatearthfestivals.com. They are going quickly, so act in accordance. And I know they just opened up more hotel rooms. She had booked, gotten so many floors to where, but those are all sold out, and they opened up some more, but they're going quick. So if you're planning on going, make sure you have a place to stay there real soon. But yeah, it should be a whole lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm getting really excited.
Or if you can, book an extra bed or two and be willing to take in stragglers.
Yeah, because I'm sure there will be some. There were a few people. There's always a few campers, stuff like that, people camping. But people who had brought tents were hoping to stay in a hotel or something like that, but had their tents with them and couldn't find a place and ended up crashing with some other people. Yeah, and if you don't have a place and that's the reason you're not going, find somebody in one of these chats, Go into Karen B's chat, go into Rose's chat, go into our chat, and, there's all kinds of people going. You might find somebody that's like, hey, yeah, if you want to pitch in a few bucks, you can crash with us. It's possible.
Lots of floor space. Dang, that went quick. I wasn't even paying attention. But this is the Ironworx. We got the fourth and final segment coming up right after these brief messages. And some real hot break music. Anyway, stick around. More nonsense right after this.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? IOLife is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to iolife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's a great product. And the one thing I like about it the most is that when you open the bottles, you can smell like the scent of the fruits and veggies. It's no genius thing to it. It's really just fruits and veggies, which everyone needs. And you guys kind of put it in a way where you can take it easy and you can get it, and it's natural, and that's what I like about it. I like the product, and I've taken it, and it's definitely made me feel a lot better. I'm a healthy person to begin with, but it's definitely good prevention, and it's definitely gives me energy, and I feel like it's a natural thing. I like it. I really do.
For a limited time, use discount code TALK to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Again, use discount code TALK.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworx. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim rim. Trivialities so fear-filled and grim. Break clear of the fear right here. Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworx. Break clear of the fear.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Wakey, wakey.
Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Sorry about that. You know, sometimes I have labels on these sounds and I forget what they actually are because they're not labeled very well. So I'm like, huh, what's this one? God, bless that shit. It's annoying. At least now I know what to get rid of.
Man, I ain't heard Bone Thugs since last Flattoberfest.
Gotta love some Bone Thugs.
Me and Stavely were out doing the rap. Everybody was down walking by the river, so we took over the radio. And we were playing we did AMG, we did Too Short. We were doing a bunch of old school rappers. It was fun. I haven't listened to that stuff in so long. Like, I couldn't tell you a rapper today. Maybe a couple. Because I'm not quite dead yet, you know. I still hear certain things. But
What about Bliss and Esso, Zach? You get into a bit of Bliss and Esso, a bit of Australian hip hop?
Yeah, he does. I've played him Bliss and Esso. I've been a Bliss and Esso fan for years.
Yeah, they've kind of sucked lately, but their first albums were cool.
Yeah, it seems like ever since that had that one strange, mysterious death on the set of their video shoot, they got real popular, but they've just not been as good. It's almost as if there was a strange sacrifice made. I don't know. What do I know? It's the first thing I thought when I heard it.
That DJ was sick though. He was he put together the songs and they were wicked, real good. And that was around, what was it, 2008 or something?
yeah, I quit listening to music by then. I think it was 2003, somewhere around there, maybe 2004. And I was going backwards. Yeah, all the new music that was coming out, I really didn't care a whole lot for it. And I went through, you know, instead of listening to just songs I liked, I would listen to the whole album of, I went through Zeppelin, the Stones, the Who, you know, the Allman Brothers, all these bands that had multiple albums. I just went and listened multiple times through each one, you know, until I found songs that weren't on the radio that I liked and I started learning and knowing. And I did Dylan, and then I did Muddy Waters. And that's when it just hit me that music is a weapon. You know, it's great to play music, to make music, but the stuff you hear on the radio has been weaponized, whether it be the words they're saying, the hidden subliminals that are in there, the spells that are cast upon, you know, the music before it's mass produced. I started learning about all these things. So I decided, and music was a huge part of my life, enormous. I decided, okay, I'm done listening to music completely. I gave all my CDs away. I quit listening to the radio, but I kept playing music and making music. And that's really when I started making my best music. My most meaningful, I could actually make a meaningful song that had, good intentions to it. But yeah, even if the song has good intention in the words, there's still the 440 that they play it at, the frequencies, all that stuff is designed to affect you in a negative way. And once I learned that, Chief Crow was the first person I had listened to an album since 2003, 2004. That was the first CD I had listened to. Yeah, that was hard. That was worse than quitting smoking, quitting music.
Yeah, I'm back on
it. We quit for so long. Yeah, I like listening to my own music now. I
listened to a good song, and then I wanted to hear another one, and then about like 3 in the morning, I woke up like, oh shit, I need to hear a song right now, and it was bad, and I'm back on. What's sad is that I know, and so do you, Lucas, and you, Zach, and even you, Josh, because I have your song from the other day. I just can't find where I sang it. Anyway. Being a musician, you know that music comes from a good place in you. You feel that. And when you've been in a group that's created music together and you all hit that something, frequency, harmony, groove, whatever, and it happens, it just makes a thing in you light up like nothing else does. That's why we were all into music like we were. So the fact that music comes from that place, and I think we create this place with music, then you have to, if that's where it comes from and musicians come from that place, then the fact that they're then required to submit to what they have to submit to become part of the industry as it used to be. Now, that being said, there's a shit ton of great musicians out there that are making videos, that are making their own thing happen. I know a dude named Lucas. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great music being done.
Shout out to Mac too, eh?
TJ. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was listening to him in my lunch break the other day. I was like, yeah, this is sweet.
I jam out to TJ.
There isn't a fucking industry like there used to be. Now that's what they say. There's still the people who were on the TV and on the radio, the videos and on the radio and all that. And that still is to me, an industry. And to me, that's where a lot of the bad shit comes into play when you start getting those spells and lesser magics and all that. So it's just tough when your soul is musical. That's what we are. That's what I think we do, is we sing this place into existence. Anyway, so that's horrible to know they've done that to it. Now, can't there be people in that industry who are there, stuck in the system, knowing what they have to do? Because, dude, the heart knows truth. The soul knows truth. The truth bumps know truth. And when you hear those lyrics and you feel that change and you know something was just said that touched a deep place in you, you know that. And that's why you like certain singers, musicians, bands, etc. And then suddenly they come out with that one album or that one song or that one video, and you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And sometimes it turns you away from those people. It's happened to some of my favorite artists. I'm looking at you, MJK. So, yeah, it's there's so many things out there that seem to try to decode what's going on and try to let people in on the secrets and the knowledge and what they have to do and why they're stuck. And I mean, I'm trying to think of the lyrics, but I can't. But 21 Pilots had a whole ton of songs that seem to reflect that whole thing, knowing they're here to do what they have to do to get that message out, that seemed to help a lot of people that I knew personally
that saved themselves from some really scary places when they heard the positive messages in some of those songs. Now, that being said, you go turn on the video and he's got black eyes and his neck's black. So what the fuck's all that about? You know what I mean? It's a fucking dichotomy, and it's hard to find the place that feels right. Because every time I put on a song I want to jam my guitar to, the next song on the album will come up and I don't feel as good about it. And sometimes it'll be a whole album. And, you know, it's just tough. It's tough. Sorry, I kind of got off on a rant there. But it's important because music's important to us. It's part of how we got here. It's part of what we made with this place.
So we probably got about 15 minutes left real quick. Hey, Lucas, what's your top Listen SO track?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Let me just
ponder on it for a sec.
Yeah, well, I don't really know the track names. I used to know them on the CD, you know, like before you knew all the track names, you just knew the digit.
The digit,
so yeah. Like track 6 or track.
Or the first 2 or 3 notes. Like, oh yeah, I know this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be like, and then skip or whatever.
Yep. Or even the last 4 notes of the previous song. You're like, all right, I know what's up next. I'm not listening to that shit.
Oh, they had some good ones. Especially like the Flying Colours one. I think it was called Flying Colours. That album. But I'll get back to you. I wanted to bring up a video that I saw. It was by this Ryan Zem guy, and he's talking about Tartaria, and then he was talking about Genghis Khan, and it's sort of like he was relating it to the revelation in the Bible, which was really interesting sort of take on things, something I've never heard before, but it's actually sort of tying biblical stuff into Tartaria. So I just thought I'd share that, just see what people think. I don't know, like, you know, when I hear new information, I don't really say yes or no on either side. I just sort of have a think about it for a while and see what else comes up. But there it is. I put it in chat. Yeah, I just thought it was real interesting how he was comparing the two, especially just might be another thing to think about when we're thinking about Tartaria, if there's a correspondence between that and the Bible. I don't know. Like Jerusalem for me is that idea of Mount Meru, so they're one and the same thing. So it does, and Jesus, as I've sort of stated in one of my videos, if you look at the people have a problem with the Jesus name, but when you actually put it into the English cipher, Jesus and Mercury have all the same numerical values, even when you break it down to vowels and consonants. So, and they have a lot of the same sort of concepts around them. That balance point, which I always talk about, that mercurial point, is the same as Buddha and all these sort of archetypal ideas. So another one for people to think about.
All right, I got a game.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And even the people in chat can play. It's not like a game you can win. So
it's like
I'm going to ask a question.
Is this like government? What are you doing?
No. I'm going to ask a question, and the first thing that pops into your head, because you can't think about it, because you think about it and there's going to be 100 different answers in your head. So the first one that pops into your head, you just got to say that one. Okay? What is the song that gives you a lot of inspiration? First one that comes to mind. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
It should have just popped in your head right away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is it?
For me, it's a song that nobody in this whole panel or on this, probably in this chat knows.
Yeah,
it's a song by Alter Bridge called Before Tomorrow Comes. I'll share the lyrics with you guys in chat.
Altered Bridge before. Okay, you gotta. I want to hear it. Lucas?
I will.
Not really. I was sort of doing something else. Sorry, mate. I was
Well,
looking
what
up
is it?
something on the
First song pops in your head. Most inspirational. Boom.
Inspirational.
What is it? You already thought of it. It popped in your head. Just the first one.
There was only one that I never even listened to this song, so it was like some Jimi Hendrix song. What was it called? I had it in my head before, but I never listen.
That's
maybe because I remember playing it when I was in grade 9 or something, so maybe that was on stage and stuff. So maybe why I went back there subconsciously. I don't know. All Along the Watchtower, that's what it was. I remember rocking it out on stage in when I was in grade 9. It was good fun.
Yeah, it's a Bob Dylan song, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to say. How about you, Josh?
Oh, you know how I am. I have to be contrary and obstinate and just a real pain in the ass and pissing in everybody's Cheerios. What in the hell are you expecting us to inspire? What specifically? It's inspirational, but what would this song be inspiring? Because if you can narrow it down, every song inspires something, whether it's discussed in the song or, no, I'm just being a pain in the ass. I'm giving you trouble.
I think I said that, a positive.
The positive,
yeah.
Which is, maybe you did and I missed it, but that's exactly how I took it. And aside from being a pain in the ass, the first song that popped into my brain was Modest Yahoo. And One Day. That's that one song that just brings the truth bumps and inspires me in ways I can't explain.
Nice. Shout out to Rose in chat, who I just proposed to, because she said she's not so much into lyrics, but she likes shred. And so I just threw out there, what's your favorite shred? She said it's Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force album. Holy shit. Jason, you're a lucky man. I love you, lady. You rock. That guy and his albums were some of the seminal guitar formative shit. Now, I can't do it. There's about 3 songs by him I can fake a couple of intros and a few solo areas and a couple of phrases from, but to do his style, oh my God, he is a man with a head the size of, no, I'm kidding. He does have a huge head, both physically and his ego, but he's an amazing guitar player, worthy of that head. You rock, Rose.
Mine has to be Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Even now when I hear it, I tear up. And I still get the chills. I could listen to it 100 times, in a row, and I would probably get chills every single time, paying attention to those lyrics.
Yeah, put on some headphones and turn it up and listen to his voice when he's singing his lyrics.
Sincere.
He's feeling it. Yep.
But yeah, that changed my life. I think I was 14 years old, and he's right. The only thing you can change is that person looking back at you in the mirror, and that's where you start. And by examples, you don't tell people what to do. You show them what to do. You lead. Yeah, I can't start talking about it. I'm going to start tearing up. Yeah, loved Michael Jackson. That song, I don't know. I don't know if there'll ever be another one that affects me that much. I hope there is, but I don't know. That was a powerful one for me. We got about 6-8 minutes left.
Oh, man, and I just scrolled back up and saw Rose shouting out Dave Mustaine, rest in peace. You just are amazing rocker lady. We need to sit down and shred sometime. That's awesome. Another person whose music I sat and did learn quite a bit more of than I could the Yngwie. Sorry, I just got into guitar. I'm playing for hours after the show now. Thank you for the inspiration. Sorry, I got all excited, Zach. Go ahead, sir.
I don't even know. I was going to say, do you want to dip into a little bit of space lettuce? But I'm feeling music for some reason right now. All right, real quick, we'll do it again. Are you ready? I'm going to change it up a little bit, though. Favorite guitar solo? First one that pops in your head. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's Powderfinger. What's the song called? These Days, I think it's called. Maybe. I'll have a look.
Mine, I don't know why. It's not like it's his best, in my opinion, by any means, but it grabs me the way he plays it, is Jimi Hendrix's Little Wing. I can just...
Nice.
Good stuff. Especially live. I mean, he's one of those guys that could do it better live than in the studio.
Right, such a feeling when he's playing live. But that video of him like sitting on the stool just in a white studio playing it, that's also amazing. Stevie Ray Vaughan's version is amazing too. The first thing that came to my mind, because I was scrolling back to see anybody else's musical, and I saw Captain Caveman with Ozzy, and it was big. And the solo Randy Rhoads performed when I saw Ozzy on the Diary of a Madman tour 2 weeks before Randy got killed in his plane crash. That solo truly is what made me go that very next week and buy a guitar at the pawn shop. My Tiesco Del Rey that I couldn't make sound anything like Randy Rhoads, but I still wanted to play it. And that's that solo. Now, everything on any of those albums that he did was phenomenal. But that live solo, when he was just there on stage and in that power of those, if you've ever heard the tribute album with his live performance of a solo, that's pretty much what I saw him perform live. And it was like nothing I'd ever experienced in any way. Like, before that, it was pretty much Ace Frehley because he had cool makeup, looked like a comic book dude. So yeah, that would be my go-to solo. But there's so many, I can't even narrow it down.
Yeah,
like
I like this though. It's just the first one that pops into your head. You might have one,
For the longest time, I would have said Hotel California solo. That's just like an epic classic that makes me feel amazing when I hear it still, as many thousands of times as I've heard it.
I love technology. We can't listen to Bach or Beethoven or Mozart. We can listen to other people playing their music, just like you can listen to a bunch of other people playing, Hendrix or Vaughan or all these great guitarists of today in the last 100 years. But we can actually go back and listen to Jimi Hendrix play. And nobody does it like Jimi. Can you imagine what like Mozart or Bach or what these guys actually sounded like when they played their music?
Right. Dude, Paganini, who inspired our buddy Yngwie Malmsteen, he was the first rock hero. He had like women like of kings' wives and like princes and duchesses after him and wanting to like commit, atrocities as far as the eyes of that culture at that time to be with him. He could make the fucking violin say their name. He could make it imitate animals. He had handkerchiefs with his image on it. Dude, he was the first dude doing marketing at the fucking t-shirt stand. He was the dude. And that was back in those days. And he was said to have sold his soul to the devil, interestingly enough, to acquire such amazing finesse.
Well, what else would it be? Because wives are pure and wives are loyal. The only way a wife would ever stray is by a pure dark magic of the devil.
Exactly. But dude, go hear some Paganini concertos. It'll bring some tears to your eyes. There's this one written from the point of view of this prisoner's crying out, and it's giving me truth bumps. I'm telling you about it right now. I can't remember the name of it because it's one of those, whatever movement, third to the eighth power, but I don't remember the name.
It took me a minute.
Zach. Oh, you go.
No, you go.
Sorry.
You.
I was going to say that song was Powderfinger Waiting for the Sun, but it doesn't really have a big solo in it. I just remember there's like they got the mix perfect, and there's just that little lead that he does, and it just like sinks in perfectly. So it's not like a big, Jimi Hendrix lead or something like that. It's more.
Well, no, yeah, that's that little thing that just
it fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That perfection. It doesn't have to be big and long and bold. Sometimes
Dude, B.B. King can wail on one freaking note for 4 chords. I mean 4. Sorry.
That's just the one that popped into my brain. I don't want to go too long because then I'll just get stuck into that whole fucking wormhole of having to watch this guy do his thing and completely forget I'm doing a show because I just become hypnotized by his playing. But that's the first one that popped into my brain was a little bit of Lindsey Buckingham. This song specifically was Big Love. Yeah, that's a good one.
I always enjoyed a bit of John Butler Trio as well, another Australian act. That was he was done the finger picking on the acoustic or done some slide and things.
Beast. Fucking A.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast on the guitar. Oh yeah.
I can't find it.
Too early on.
There was an acoustic
I think it was Eddie Van Halen who talked about him that made me look into him on some of his early like interviews and stuff.
So
yeah, that album 3 and even a few ones. And back when he had dreadlocks, then he sold out and cut all his hair off. And no, I don't know if he didn't really sell out, but
love y'all.
You guys have a great rest of your Friday. We're gonna have Heartline
Realm.
Realm.
And come tune in this afternoon.
Lisa is going to be joining us for the channel Heartline Realm over there on Have No Sphere. Well, then on Have No Sphere right here on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel. Love you guys. If we don't talk to you then, enjoy your weekend and we will talk to you next week. Love you. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.